with YouTube. This is kind of a topic I've been wanting to talk about for a while, or get into in terms of content that I'm making. So today I'm going to be talking about the SmartVote.ie website. It was developed by Gordon Rose and Keith Moore through the Union of Students in Ireland. And it's basically, as they call it, a matchmaking website for the politicians in your constituency coming up to a local election or a general election in this particular case. So they trialled it in 2014 by-election, and they've scaled it up now obviously, and they emailed all the politicians a survey based on the 30 questions that they have on their website, and the politicians just email back their surveys, and that's fed into the system, and then you do the survey and it matches you to them based on your responses. And what's really cool is that some of the politicians, when you go into the breakdown of their surveys, have reasons for, oh, I agree with this, or I don't agree with this, or I kind of agree with this. I'll include a screenshot here. Basically, it gives you the three options either way, and then you can just say, oh, well, I don't know, so stay in the middle. I've done the test 5 or 6 times now, and it's thrown up a couple of anomalies in that, my points of view on one or other different things have put certain candidates higher up the list. So that's a bit, it's something you'll have to do more than once, and I've done it twice now, and I have, one candidate keeps coming up to the top, and then it kind of alternates between 4 or 5. Kind of unsurprisingly, some of the usual characters that I definitely wouldn't vote for are down the bottom of the list. Before I stumbled across this one, I found a website called votomatic.ie, and similar kind of thing, except this one has a sliding scale, so if you answer a question and you want to go further to the left or further to the right, then in terms of how much you agree or disagree, then that's pretty much it. But that one seems to be more set out that the further left you go, the more left aligned you are, the further right you go, the more right aligned you are, and the further in the middle you are, the more centre political aligned you are. So it wasn't foolproof. You could trip the system, depending on what your answers are. This one is much more kind of comprehensive in the sense that it has a load of varying different questions on different topics, and there's no kind of inclination as to what way everyone else has voted, or a party affiliation, or whatever it is. I'll give you an example of some of the questions that they asked. We have public transport should be available to everyone, even if some routes are loss-making. Fairly innocuous question. Another one about prioritising trains over buses. Home repossessions should be stopped. A self-employed person should have access to the same social welfare benefits as a PAYE worker. PAYE is pay as you earn, for anyone that doesn't know, and it's a form of tax. Health insurance should be made compulsory. Abortion. Third level education should be funded entirely by general taxation. These are just kind of general statements that would have been sent out. So voter registration should be automatic. There's an interesting question to ask. And then another one that's kind of a bit strange, but again, this one does give you a clue as to who you're voting for or who you agree with, and in terms of that, government should promote carbon neutral construction projects, even if this means higher property costs. So that's just a selection of some of the questions that you get asked. I highly recommend checking out this website, because if you're unsure, like a lot of people that I've spoken to, especially my mother and my sister, of who you're going to vote for and why you're going to vote for them, more importantly why you're going to vote for them, then definitely check it out. Do it a couple of times, do it a couple of times in a day, or a couple of days every now and then between now and whenever the election is in February. I don't know, it's a good way of getting a benchmark of critical thinking about different topics and how you feel about them, because you might never have thought about, oh, maybe we should prioritise buses, or maybe we should, make more carbon neutral buildings, So I think it's a good idea of at least giving you a benchmark of different things to think about for the election, instead of, the standard, well, what are you going to do for me, or, the health service is a mess, or education's a mess, or social welfare is going down, rents are going up. That's all kind of included in that anyway, and really good topics to be thinking about. But you do that, come up with your own critical analysis of it, and then do something that a lot of people, I guess, don't really do, is go and talk to your politicians. If you really don't think that you'd have voted for somebody, then go and talk to them and just say, look, not sure, willing to give you a shot, benefit of the doubt, all of that other stuff. Talk to them and just go, right, nice to chat to you, really not going to vote for you, or nice to chat to you, might vote for you. It was one of the things that I picked up at the Active Citizenship Together training that we did in Tallinn. It's just, politician comes to your door, they will do that. They haven't done it to me yet, unless I've been out. But they come to your door, it's like, no, fuck off, go away. It's kind of going, right, I'll listen, speak, and then decide whether you want to tell them to F off, or kind of go, But either way, just kind of go, listen, very good of you to call, very brave of you to call in some cases, depending on what party you're in and what area you're in. Some of my local politicians have experience of that, and I'll think about it. You don't have to be rude, you don't have to be super polite, just kind of be reasonable and go, okay, thanks, bye. So that's just my little short bit about the upcoming general election. Let me know what you think in the comments below. It's something I'm kind of hoping to get going, is people leaving comments on my video on the YouTube page. So definitely use that space below, there's lots of it. And obviously comments on Facebook and Twitter and are really appreciated as well. So Gurmila Mahagut, YouTube. Get thinking, be critical more importantly than anything else. Don't just accept people's initial, this is me, this is my party, this is not my party, I'm an independent, whatever it is. Really dig into these people, because everybody is unhappy. Nearly everybody is unhappy with the way things are at the moment. So if you want to do something about it, you might as well know what you're potentially doing. Gurmila Mahagut agus slán fóill. Well, conas atá tú.